Welcome to Aquarian Anarchy. Before we get into our special guests and what we have in store for you tonight, I want to remind everybody to take a minute, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe, and the little bell icon so you can get your notifications when the next episode is going to drop, and do all that stuff. Share this show with your friends. 2 shares. That's all we ask. 2 shares to speed the spread of Aquarian Anarchy all over these interwebs. But without further ado, let's get into who our special guests are. We have from the Brown Paper Bag podcast, Corey Frazier, aka G Frage, and
That's right.
Saul G with my hosts Marcus and Nico as well. And I think that what we need to do is to do a little homage to the YouTube channel formerly known as the Brown Paper Bag podcast. Get out our brown paper bags. Let's see what everybody's got. What you got in your bag, Saul?
Man, I'm sipping on Modelo tonight, man.
Modelo. Oh, watch out now. That's my favorite. That is my favorite non-dark beer. I will say that. That is. I love it. I love the choice. What you got, Corey?
Somebody need to answer that.
Is that you?
Anyway.
Is that you, Saul?
No comment. Man, okay, so I got okay, so I know we doing the whole thing, but I got a house phone I never use, so it's like I don't even expect it to. While y'all going around doing y'all drinks, let me cut that off because random spam calls come through, so I don't want to go out the whole time.
That's all good.
Let me go cut that off real quick. I'll be right back.
All right, Corey, tell us what you got, man.
I got
Saul, that went
a special occasion. I got the Blue Moon, the Belgian White. I needed something with that had a little taste to it, a little kick, because y'all kick ass, man. I need to be in the right space, you know.
That's right.
Are you really already 2 beers in before we even get started?
This is 4.
I'm ready.
I got 2 left.
Damn.
I got 2 left.
Right
Oh man!
About to smack that 6-pack, huh?
I told y'all, see my shirt, man. Like, this is my religion. Budweiser, right? King of beers, brother. It's my religion. So
there we go. There we go. All right. So Marcus, what you got?
I don't do the brown paper bag, man. I do the clear plastic bag. so I got little baggies that my favorite little treat comes in. It's little nugs that I put down up in there. And I try to smoke those as often as I possibly can. I'm not much of a drinker, but goddamn, I love to smoke. So I'm a bud man myself. I like Budweiser all right, but my buds and see, I find God in nature.
Here we go. One of them ones.
Roll it on up, and there's God.
There you go.
Gotcha.
There you go.
I'm
Nico,
too old for that one now. I can't even handle that one. I tried it, but it's too strong.
Yeah, and federal law says that I cannot do it legally.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you out on the.
Would it be disrespectful, since I don't have a brown paper bag, putting it in a plastic bag? Is that
Good, man.
Look at that. We got us a Walmart bag with the genuine drag.
MGD.
MGD. All right. Okay. So mine is thematic because since y'all got banned, I'm imagining there must have been 19 crimes committed. So I got the old Australian special.
Okay.
So anyway, a little Cabernet. And I realized that I forgot glasses over there, so I'm gonna just have to drink this straight out the bottle.
Oh shit!
Oh wow, you're doing it real old school.
Yeah, that's right. So seriously, like I'm in a hotel. The cups are over there.
Bottles are meant to be drunken out of. Come on now.
Yeah, right.
You got a water bottle. You got beer bottles. Wine bottles.
Right. So about I don't want not to get too sensitive on this, because I know this is it's still a sore subject and everything, but would it be appropriate to pour a little bit out for the YouTube channel formerly known as the
No,
podcast?
No, it ain't dead. It's not dead. No,
I'm talking about the YouTube channel formerly known as the
man.
the Brown Paper Bag podcast lives on.
Yeah, you can pour.
All right.
Correct. Yeah. You can pour something out for the YouTube channel.
I was about to say,
the YouTube channel.
Chad doesn't care about the room.
Right there. There we go. All right. Pour a little bit out. All right. So Thank you, gentlemen, very much for coming on. I hope y'all are doing well. Let's get into that. Let's talk about it. Like what? I know y'all said y'all don't really know exactly what happened. But like when I first heard about the channel getting banned, I was like, this is bullshit. Like what? The stuff that I saw posted on there was like misleading information, deliberately deceiving, or some. I was like, these are two of the most genuine, like real dudes I know.
Right.
I can't even fathom like what the hell happened. Do y'all have any words to describe?
I'll let you go first on that one, Corey.
Yeah, because it's a two-part thing, right? And the way that we found out, it was literally in two parts. So what I had been doing was running a Instagram promotion, right? Not necessarily. If you don't get Kobe, I know that.
I'm sorry, bro. He's literally chasing his tail as I'm sitting. That's why I keep looking off the screen. He's literally chasing his tail right now. Like, this is so annoying.
He got a rat that's a dog, man. He called it a dog, but it's really a rat. It's like an extra large rat. But anyway,
Come on.
I know exactly what it was.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But anyway, it's like, so I had been running these promotions. So what I did is took a little clip, right, from one of our shows.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't post no links or none of that. And just like, hey, you know, Brown Paper Bag Podcast, that's how I did it. And so I was running these promotions over Instagram. And so what I was doing, I had been running, I think like a day and a half, so 2 days at the most.
Mm.
What I would do is get in the morning, see how many accounts that they reached, and then I would go to our YouTube channel to see if I see the numbers change, see if people found it. So one day I did that, looked at it in the morning, saw how many accounts they had reached on Instagram. And then later on that night when I got home, I went to look and see, you know, if any of our numbers, subscribers change, you know, look at the analytics, and I couldn't find it. I'm like, hold on, what the hell is going on here? Typed in Brown Paper Bag, something else came up, Brown Paper Bag mini
Yeah,
podcast.
I saw that same shit too. I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
I'm like, what is this? So I called him, and he didn't answer the first time I called, but I called him right back, and I knew he did, and he knew something was going on. So I was like, hey, what's up with our channel? It ain't up. And then I'll just let him take it from there.
Yeah, man. So he hit me up and I was like, what's up? He was like, yo, the channel going. I'm like, the channel's going. What do you mean the channel's going? Like, you know what I mean? Because it's a situation where it's like, you know what I mean? Like you're sitting there and it's like, you know, I'm sitting here and whatnot, and we don't see, the one thing people got to understand is, right, like this show. I mean, I watch some of your shows. Y'all do a lot of like different things on here. I already told you about that occult episode that I was tripping on. But
yeah, I mean, we don't tread lightly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sitting there thinking, like, you know, and I'm looking at your hat. You know what I mean? I'm looking at your background, you Chad, and I'm like, you know, there are some channels that do get into some things that we don't even touch. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like. Our channel, like I interviewed my dad about it was like to grow up in segregated civil rights. We interviewed a black young lady who just graduated from college who does black children's books. We've talked about relationships. We've talked about racism. We've talked about a lot of things. We talked about, even when we did the other show that we did, was Purple Pill Politics. Mm-hmm. We talked bad about both parties, but it wasn't anything that, you know, YouTube just released a nice little
I saw that
entry saying what you cannot talk about. We have never braced any of those topics. We have never talked bad about any segment of people or anything like that. The whole entire channel was basically positive, right?
Yep, exactly.
We had the last show that we did was amazing because we had a pure feminist on the show and a pro-lifer, and they weren't at each other's necks by the end of the show. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, what could we possibly have done? So a situation where I wrote a nice little email, you know, to respond to it, because you get one little, what do they call it, an appeal,
An appeal, yeah.
So I wrote a nice, politically correct appeal, if you will. And
very liberal.
Very, very liberal. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I used all the
you tried to hit all the little buttons.
Oh, yeah, I checked it off as a man. I checked it off as a black man, you know, trying to get some, some income for my family during the pandemic, and it's struggles out here, and it's hard. You know,
don't you know, black man is the white man or the white people of black people?
Man,
come on now.
Yeah, when you live in a country that enslaved your people, and all you're trying to do is bring some positivity. And yeah,
you hit all that.
I was checking off the box. I always tell people, right? Because I always tell people, like, I consider myself, right leaning, if you will, but like I know how to speak Democrat, Republican, liberal.
Right.
Concern. I can even probably speak anarchist by the end of the night. We'll find out. But I can speak whatever it is. I'm fluent in a lot of languages. So I wrote that. Then 5 minutes later, we reviewed it. No, your channel's still murked, and it's just like.
And they didn't even say anything like.
Refer to community guidelines. That's all we got.
So it's somewhere in there you did something wrong. We can't tell you
somewhere in there, yeah. And then they give it like generic examples, like it could have been this, and this. It was one part where they said that if you do hire somebody to do promotions, you're responsible for the promotions. But I'm like, but that's still dumb because we didn't have any strikes. We had never been in trouble because once again, our content never crosses that line to get us in trouble. So that's basically, that was, kind of woe is me or woe is us Friday, Saturday. Because I wasn't even really on Twitter like the whole weekend because I was mad because I was like, yo, how they take our channel down? We didn't even do nothing.
Yeah, no, and I hit you up, and I was like, "What the hell? What the fuck happened?"
I think though what you hit on though is that you're positive. They don't want people coming together. It's one of the things that I worry about for our channel because they want us anarchists to be all and y'all suck and fuck the government and all that crap.
Burn shit down. Yeah,
right. That's what they want us to be talking about. Not can't we just come together in peace and stop force and violence? They don't want that. So I think that likely, and I get that you guys are right-leaning. See, I'm a libertarian-leaning anarchist. I sometimes call myself a libertarian. But in all reality, I'm an anarchist. I don't believe in any of this bullshit. But I think that probably the core to why they cut you out is because they saw powerful black men who don't fit the stereotype of what they want an evil, powerful black stereotype to look like. You look like good people. It doesn't matter. I know that Corey's been to prison. I don't care. You're good people, and you can tell that. I've only watched a few of your programs, but I can tell you're good people. And because of that, they can't have that image becoming the primary image of what a strong black man is.
I agree, and that's the thing that like I'm like Saul. Like when we finally came to the conclusion that we were done, like I went to sleep, turned my ringer off because it took us 6 months to build that program. That platform. Like we got our subscriberships up. The watch time minutes. We would finally monetize. Chad had been on our special, the inauguration of the Purple Pill, and for them to just kill it, I was lost. I was kind of stuck. Like, damn, what do we do next?
It wasn't even like you got like a slap on the wrist, and then like, whoa, wait, okay, we need to think about this. Like, how are we gonna change things to make sure that we don't get it was just like, boom, eject.
And it's like really messed up because they don't explain themselves at all.
No, they don't.
They don't take any kind of accountability for, you guys putting out a good message, and then there's no.
And there's no accountability for the effort that the work that y'all put in, the time, the effort, the financial resources too. Because it's not like y'all just like fell out of bed and where your shit was on YouTube or whatever. No, y'all had to come out of pocket for stuff and everything. So what's the next step? If you don't want to get into too much detail to kind of keep stuff under wraps on, for any reason, I understand, but where does this go? What's the future of the Brown Paper Bag podcast? I know y'all did the Periscope thing the other day, but what else beyond? Because that's one of those things that eventually they're coming for that too. I don't know. Where do we go from here? Because we've got to think about this too for our stuff about where we're going to go, and we want to kind of figure out where what makes the most sense. What are y'all doing?
You want to hit it, Corey, or you want me to?
Well, you the evil genius, man. I'm just I'm the sidekick, man. You know what I'm saying? You tell me, I say, hey, I like that shit. Let's go. So
okay, so this is basically what we decided, because I know people was like, hey, you can broadcast on our channel, still on YouTube. You know what I mean? You can do this, you can do that. And at the end of the day, I'm a big believer in freedom, right? I don't have to be an anarchist to watch this show and respect your show. I'm like, you know what? This gives me a different perspective because, once again, I love going back to that occultist show. I'm never going to watch no mess like that anywhere else. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going on the internet like, oh, let me type in some occult type and let's talk about white magic and dark magic and voodoo and Vodun and the light side of voodoo. I'm never going to type that in. But because I'm subscribed to y'all and because I believe in what you're doing, dang it, will you leave my court alone, sir? It's a situation where
you gotta show him now because I don't know if they seen him, man.
Yeah, well, he's gonna jump up. He's gonna be on show sooner or later. I'll get him over in a second.
He named the dog Kobe Bryant.
No, I didn't. Do not lie to the people out there. His name is Kobe, but it's not even spelled the same way.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me get back on topic. Okay, so like I said, I believe in allowing people the freedom to say whatever they want. I don't care if I agree with it. I also believe in the freedom of allowing people to do whatever they want to do. As long as it doesn't harm me, I could care less. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, we got an idea. You know, I mean, people are saying, hey, we can come here, we can use their channel, we can do this, we can do that. And I said, you know, I remember what Kanye said, and I was like, yo, Kanye said he want to own his masters. And I was like, you know what? I don't think this is as hard as it probably needs to be. So what I said was, I am going to create something where I can own my masters, where I can create a space where you are free to say whatever you want, where you can speak without not having to worry about Big Brother watching you, where you can say exactly how you feel. And even if I disagree with it, even if I think it's, you know, repulsive, it ain't my job to tell you how to think. It's my job to give you a platform where you're allowed to say whatever you want without restriction. But at the same time, you know, once you get to a certain point, yeah, I'm going to get paid off of what you're doing, but it's not going to be what the other place is doing. You understand what I'm saying? It's not going to be that, because basically the way I look at it is what I'm creating right now. Not going to go over the name because we're going to be releasing it in about hopefully 2 or 3 weeks. But what I'm going to be releasing is a platform where I can say exactly what I want to say. I don't have to worry about nobody coming to me talking about some copyright strikes, talking about some content strikes. The rules of, I'm not going to even have like a 45-page disclaimer or something like, do you agree to the rules? The rules are going to be like 1 page. Don't do nothing with no kids. You understand what I'm saying? Don't be recruiting no terrorists. Don't do no snuff films live on the TV. You understand what I'm saying? No sex trafficking and nothing illegal, as far as illegal to the point of, like, you know, where we would be in trouble for actually doing. Like, you smoking a blunt on there, I don't know where you live at, so it is what it is.
You're talking about like more like trying to cook cocaine and turn it into crack.
Correct. Yeah. We're not going to allow you to advertise any sort of illegal activity.
Damn, I was going to show off my shop.
Right. You're not going to be like, okay,
a trap house training video.
Exactly. Here you go. How to cook crack. Yeah, you're not going to necessarily do that. But but bottom line is, unless somebody reports it, we're not looking for it. It's going to be no algorithm that is monitoring your words. And it's not going to be anything like that. It's going to be a platform where you're free to speak. You own your content and you are responsible for your content, which means if you want to use a Star Wars clip, am I going to take your video down because you use a Star Wars clip? No. If Disney comes, hey, you got that guy, hey, go talk to Chad. Don't talk to us. We are just the vehicle. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like the Uber driver. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm looking at doing like an Uber for like content. You understand what I'm saying? Wherever that destination is that you tell me to go, that's where I'm going.
Yeah, if you got an AK in your backpack when you get in my Uber car, like, I'm not patting everybody down to see if they got shit in their backpack, you know.
Exactly.
Right. We're not looking to see what you're doing is right, wrong, or indifferent. We're not there to be the police over free speech. We're there to allow you to bring in your audience, say what you want without restriction, because that's the one thing you really get to get a genuine idea of people. Let me hear what you say when I know you're going to say how you really feel, because you know you can come out here and say anything you want with no fear of being taken down, unless you got one of those 5 rules. But that's pretty much what we're creating right now, a platform that is wide open where all of our content creators own their masters. You are in charge of your channel. You're going to monetize it how you want to. If you want people to do like movie tickets to watch your show, if you want to do a monthly subscription, you can instantly monetize your channel as soon as you sign up. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, we're going to take a cut, but we're not taking 30 like the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
The percentage that we're taking, understand, the more people we have on there, the more space we're going to take up. And that's basically all we're paying for at this point until the advertising stuff comes in. We just need assistance to help pay with all the stories that we're going to need so that this platform is able to run efficiently. So that's what we're creating right now.
I like it. And yeah, I like it. And one of the things I like about it is John Locke, who was a massive influence on me. John Locke talked about property an awful lot. And one of the things that he talked about was that in order for something to fit civil law, because law was one of his gigs, you need to be able to access the information. And one of the things about property and law that people miss with when they're like, well, Facebook's a private company and da-da-da-da. Yeah, they've got a contract 12 miles long that you got to sign that nobody fucking reads. You know,
and they're in cahoots with the government.
Right.
So it's not, they're about as private as fucking
right.
the water company or whatever.
Right.
You know?
So if you put a 1-page, rules out, everybody will read that shit.
They'll read that. This disclaimer. Yeah, 1-page disclaimer. They will read
right.
it.
It
So,
fits. Yeah.
Question about your website. Is it just going to be like a video watching website where you just have video surface on it, or is it going to be a little bit more in depth? If you can talk about it, that is.
Yeah. It's going to also be somewhat of a social media platform as well. So you can also like for example, if you're a content creator, then you have your own page, all your videos, you'll have links, you'll have places where you can download your videos to make sure with no expiration date. You understand what I'm saying? Where you can download your videos, they're your content. So that way, if God forbid something was to happen to the channel, the website, which eventually be an app as well, you always have access to your content. You understand what I'm saying? So when you say is it going to be more than that? Yeah, I can't go into the actual things of it, but it will be somewhat similar to a social media app. You'll be able to post your comments. You'll be able to post pictures. You'll be able to have a profile where there is all your posts, all your pictures, all that type of stuff. You can subscribe to channels. You can do all these different things. And then, like I said, the one thing we're offering that a lot of places don't do is we're offering instant monetization. You understand? Which I think is very important, because the other thing about it is I don't understand why more places don't do it. It's like you don't need to. If you have an audience and people want to pay you for whatever your content is, why wouldn't I want your money as soon as possible?
Yeah, I can tell you why.
Wait 7 or 8 months?
I can tell you why YouTube and some of those others don't do that is because what they are doing is it's the same thing that Subway does. If you ever notice it, like you ever seen like a Subway will pop up, and then like a year, 2 years later, another Subway pops up like right down the road from it, and then before long that old Subway ends up gone. This is what they do. They will Subway or Blimpie, one of them. I think it's Subway. Shout out to Blimpie. I remember them back in the day. But anyway, so what they do is they let a franchisor start up a franchise, and they use them as market research. And they're like, oh yeah, this one's popping. Okay, let's put one right down the road from them, put them out of business. They did our market research for it. So what YouTube and some of these other platforms are doing is they are taking your free content that no one has to pay for, and they are figuring out if you have a good enough audience first, letting you bring them money through advertisers and everything else, not giving you any of it, because all the content that YouTube has coming into it keeps people coming to YouTube searching for stuff. And then when you get to the point where you are bringing them in enough money, then they're like, okay, now, yeah, you can have a little bit of it. They're basically they're the record label for content creators.
Damn, man, y'all getting deep. Let me get to my book. Let me go. I gotta go to a section, the smart motherfuckers page. Let me find my shit real quick. Let me see. Okay, chapter 9, section 4A. I got the rules now. Okay, I'm ready. I'm with y'all now. Okay.
But yeah, like I said, it's going to be a multifaceted platform, and the only thing I can say is, this is one thing I learned during my job. You don't have to believe in something to sell it. You know, I've been to a lot of Amish communities, and I remember I saw the Amish, and they were selling something that they weren't wearing on their face. I'm not going to say what they weren't wearing, but you know, those things are required to wear.
Those things that you have to wear.
Yeah, correct. So
sunglasses. Your sunglasses protect me, and my sunglasses protect you.
Correct, because it's this thing where sometimes people have these moral high grounds, right? And they believe that, oh, you know, for example, if I was a Christian, I couldn't have a winery because, you know, God hates wine or God hates alcohol or something dumb. You know what I mean? Like, it's really, really something stupid the way people think. Like, I can't do things because of these moral objections, but I'm sitting there thinking, like, if you have an idea, you can market it to whoever wants to use it. Why would you limit yourself based on, you know, agreeing or fitting with your morals? Because the funny thing about it is that's the reason why I find like the social media platforms that exist now funny, because they're very particular about what people say. Like, if I had 1 billion people on my platform, I could care less about what people were saying. Hey, did you hear somebody use your platform to influence an election? How you feel about that? Did they buy the marketing from me? Did they buy an ad?
Did I make $1 million?
How much money did I make off of that? Cool.
Yeah, well, here's the thing that was crazy about that is that like they're talking about how like memes and all this other kind of stuff, these fake stories or whatever, are what convinced people to vote a certain way in 2016. And I'm like, okay, so your point is there's stupid people and they bought into that shit? Like, sorry, but like you can't fix stupid. Like, stupid just is what stupid does, you know, and it is what it is. What's funny though is what you were saying. You know, I don't know if it's the CEO or the founder of Whole Foods. I can't remember his name. Can't remember who it was, but he's vegan. Okay. Now, you ever been to Whole Foods? You ever been to Whole Foods? Do they sell meat? Yes. You know what he said about that? He said, "Yeah, I'm vegan. I won't eat this stuff, but that doesn't mean that other people don't want to eat it."
Yeah.
You know, like, it's like I don't have to have, and I'm like, and he's like a conscientious vegan. Like, he's not just about like, I'm just doing this for my health. He's
that's like
concerned with the animals.
A Muslim selling pork.
Yeah,
Well,
but his thing is like I don't eat it, but you do, and so it is what it is, you know.
Everybody got to get their dollar somehow.
For sure, I got to tell you the story about this Muslim. That's why it's like it's everything added the hell up. There was a Sufi, I can't remember his name, but there was a Sufi, which is a form of Muslim religion, and you're not allowed to eat pork, you're not allowed to drink wine, you're not allowed to do all these different things, right? Well, this dude, because Sufis get all crazy and have visions of God and what have you, and what he was basically told to do was to go out and do exactly the opposite. Tell people, eat pork, drink all the alcohol you want, do all these things because in service of God, because he was in service of God. If they were good Muslims, they wouldn't do it. Now, he never did it. He didn't touch the shit. But he was busy teaching people to do all of these things that you're not supposed to do according to the Quran, so that because he believed that people have freedom of choice, and God would never provide the choice if it had to be forced. And so I thought that was a really voluntarist idea, a very anarchist kind of idea, where you say, okay, like for instance, I don't have a bit of problem with somebody doing crack. If they want to do crack, they can do crack. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do any coke. I'm not going to do any crack. I like having a life. But it just reminded me of that sort of thing. Freedom is about having choices, and not having freedom and having force and taking things away wind up with where YouTube, who took you guys off, just announced that they're going to start censoring people for saying that Donald Trump might have won the election. Now, I don't give a fuck who won the election. Who gives a shit which master these morons chose? I don't care. But people need to be able to say what they want. That is control of information. You control the information, you control the people.
And with our show being canceled, one thing that I came into light about is the hypocrisy of our country when it comes to freedom. Oh. Right? Like I understood that, people say you can be free, but you don't really understand a thing until it affects you directly.
For sure.
Right? You don't really get it until it affects you directly. And that's what it was about us. And like a lot of the stuff the content that we had put up, keep in mind, we had been doing it for 6 months straight. We were on time. We didn't miss nothing. Even if we missed something, we did it the next day. We didn't wait long. We didn't say, oh, okay, we missed this week. Sorry, folks, but no, we did it the next day. And the freedom of that content, we lost a lot of it. A lot of people don't know that we lost a lot of it.
Yeah, you lost your if you didn't record that episode onto a device and it was on their server, when they killed your channel, it was gone.
Yeah. It was gone because we was using StreamYard, and StreamYard only hold it for 15 days. Like not in our wildest dreams, we didn't believe that we was gonna get canceled. So we was like, okay, it's cool, we putting out positive content. But when they canceled us, we can only go back 15 days, or unless we uploaded it. Like I would do a lot of that stuff for the Instagram page, but I would only have sound bites, right?
Yeah.
And so we lost a lot of that content.
Less, right?
Exactly. Well, on Instagram you can do the what is it called? The
story
IGTV.
Or whatever. Yeah. The IGTV. Okay. Yeah.
But I still never made it. Yeah, I still never made it more than a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
So a lot of that content, original content that we had, we lost it, and they didn't even give us that opportunity to say, okay, we're here
to go get your stuff off their servers first.
Exactly. Yeah. And matter of fact, they owed us about $400, motherfuckers. We need our money.
Oh shit, that's right. All your super chats and everything and all that stuff.
Yeah,
they didn't give y'all that?
No.
Can y'all not get?
Bro, that's theft. I gave you that. I gave you that money. I didn't give YouTube that money. I gave y'all that money.
We're just waiting right now.
Understanding they're gonna take a cut, but shit. What up, Kobe?
Yeah, what's up, Kobe?
Kobe's shitty about it too, man.
Yeah, Kobe's like, let me get a word in, motherfucker.
Yeah, man.
And that's go ahead. You can add on that because you talked about that just recently, so you can add on that.
I just feel like it's when you talk about, and that's the one thing they always talk about. I remember like on the beginning of one of our shows called The Purple Pill Politics, as one of the forgotten people I think in the civil rights movement was a guy named Ace Rap Brown. And he says there's no such thing as halfway free, right?
Which y'all had him. Y'all had one of his clips on the on your little open, didn't you?
Yeah, on the opening, right? He said you're either free or you're a slave. There is no such thing as in between. And I think this was one of those times where, like I said, if we had ventured into some topics and some things that could have got us in trouble based on the emails and things that YouTube has sent out, but our channel was nothing like that.
They still have like those whole things with like him and Stokely Carmichael and everything on YouTube where you can go watch it. It's a lot more like hardcore than the shit y'all were talking about.
Right, but it's a situation where, and that's why I keep trying to tell people, we were not banned because of content. We were banned because of, hypothetically, if it was true, it was some like cliche rule, but it's not like we got a warning. It's not like we got a strike. It's not like they said, oh, man, we understand, man. We love y'all's channel, man. Hey, we love what y'all been doing, being positive and whatnot. Just be careful of who you use to do promotions, or hey, just don't do it again. Or like that's the reason why they was like, well, which video was it? It wasn't a video. They haven't been able to identify what specifically it was. It was a generic response that they basically gave us. So
somebody
that's
reported
just my
y'all,
main thing.
and then it just kind of
It
went.
had
from
to
there.
have been somebody.
It was an individual. What's funny is, okay, I don't know if you guys know this or not. I am good friends with Adam Kokesh and still work for Adam versus the Man, which Adam ran for president. He has 70 million views on YouTube. Right now, he's not doing anything on YouTube. And the reason he's not doing anything on YouTube is because they gave him 2 strikes, and he was about to get his 3rd. So he said, fuck that. I don't want to get my shit taken down.
Mm-hmm.
This dude has been challenging everything forever. He makes us look like we are just tame in some of his videos.
Yeah.
You know,
But he's
Adam
also
goes at him
like, hey,
crazy.
Kobe, hey, Kobe's
Kobe.
white now. God damn, man.
Nah, he's cappuccino. He just looks white when the light's on him.
I know. I was just joking.
He is a
Kobe
dog
Bryant
of
joke,
color,
man.
sir. You got to call it right. He's a
I
dog
call
of
it.
color.
He's albino.
He's a
albino.
He's a
DOC.
DOC. He's a dog of color. Like if I hold him away from the light, look at that.
Oh yeah, okay, I see it
He
now.
is a
I see
dog
it
of
now.
color. Thank you.
Well,
Hey,
so Adam has this video where he like, oh, I'm sorry, what, Nico?
No, I was just making comment on his dog. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Good.
No, so Adam has this video where like he talks down on like Adam's a Marine, so he's got this other guy. I think that guy was a Marine. This guy's like,
Yeah, he was a Marine.
I don't know, almost twice as big as it'd be like you and Corey, and you are about to whip Corey's ass, and Adam just like talks him down to like, hey man, like it's cool.
You ain't gonna whip shit.
Oh shit!
Why did you say that gun? I don't like how you said that gun too accessible. I don't like that. I don't like the fact you had that gun.
I don't like your muzzle discipline, sir. You pointed that shit right at me.
I have flashbacks about whooping my ass. Okay, but don't go ahead.
No, but anyway,
I'm too little.
So anyway, no, but basically what it is Adam. There's a book by Marshall Rosenberg called Nonviolent Communication, and Adam loves this book, talks about it a lot.
Smart shit. Let me go. Let me find my page.
Okay, yeah, but anyway, it's all about like finding out how to take a conversation from blame and like pain and that sort of stuff, what ends up causing a lot of conflict, and instead taking it back to, okay, what needs do you have that aren't being met, and that sort of thing. And so it teaches you how to like have conversations with people where instead of becoming adversarial and confrontational, it becomes more of like a negotiation of how can we make each other happy so that we can leave this conversation happier than we were when we started. And Adam kind of takes it through that process. That's all of the video. It's him talking about that. And the guy's like, I heard you were talking shit about the military. We're going to have to go outside. And he's like, hey, why do we need to go outside? Wouldn't it be better if we just talked and had a conversation? We might become friends instead of going outside and kicking each other's ass or whatever and somebody getting hurt. And so the conversation goes, everything calms down. The guy ends up like shaking his hand, ends up taking a copy of his book later, all this kind of stuff. YouTube just pulled the video.
Took it off. And he's got
no explanation, just
shit.
yanked the video. The video had like 3.5 million views or something like that. Had a shit ton. Like it was one of his best, and like first demonetized it, then like pulled it completely off and deleted it so like he doesn't have it anymore. Because that's one of those things, like he didn't have all the shit stored forever. On a device.
It comes back to do you guys have too positive of content for YouTube? They want people at each other's throats.
Yeah.
Or they want people looking at stupid bullshit.
Because you know what the crazy part is like, and I'm not gonna say her name, but I'll text you guys, you know what I'm saying, in the what's the name, in the Twitter, you know, private chat, whatever it is. But it's people on there, like it's this one chick I subscribe to, but I use it as research, and Saul knows exactly what I'm talking about, right? Because her shit, when she go live, man, she literally have 30,000 people. Like, no knock to the hotels, but she fucking them over when it comes to live views and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
And she be talking about black people killing white people literally on the show, man, on the live. But she's on there anytime she pop up, anytime she want to go live, and we sitting back like, hold on, what the fuck? Y'all took us down for trying to bridge a gap between everybody in the country. It's like, come on now.
Gap bridging is not allowed. Gap creating is all that's allowed.
Man.
Divide and conquer.
Man, that's terrible. And like, for example, like the beauty about me and Saul's show is this here. It's like we come from only thing that really unites us is our skin color. You know, Chad had we had the privilege of sitting with Chad and stuff like that. But that's the only thing that unites us. But other than that, we're totally different. Like, he usually votes conservative. I usually vote liberal, right? I'm from Clinton, Michigan. He's from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm living here now. But, I went to prison. He went to a HBCU. My mother was a General Motors worker. His dad was still a doctor. But that was good content for people to get something positive from. We brought these two worlds together. And that's why I was so discombobulated when we got counseled, because we was trying to provide a service to a current need in our country.
Absolutely. So let's talk about that. Yeah. So y'all met on Twitter and through, like, Saul, you said you saw Corey when Naomi interviewed him on YouTube or whatever, and that's how.
Yeah, Naomi, I guess she found the story. Like his life story they was talking about, and she viewed him the other channel that I used to do a lot, which is called 50 Shades of Red.
Yeah.
But he interviewed her. She interviewed him on that or whatnot, and she hit me up and she was like, "Yo, Saul, you got to talk to this guy." And I was like, well, "Why?" And she was just like, "No, man. Once you hear his story, like, you're gonna be blown away." And I was like, "All right, cool." And it's like I watched the show and I was like, "What?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, I watched Law and Order and I watched everything under the sun. You know what I mean? So it was like a situation where I'm like, wait, this wrongfully accused stuff, this ain't nothing that they like at this time, I'll put it to you like this. At that time, I was a little bit more, well, no, not necessarily then, but I had been more right-leaning at the time. Like, I put myself more in the center now. I always would keep my quote-unquote conservative values, if you will. But
yeah. I
don't even know how to define a conservative based on, because to me, a conservative in 2020 means you're stupid and you're gullible. So I don't even really know, how to even define that term. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's almost like, I'm old enough to remember the game Lemmings, and I'm like, okay, everybody's just gonna keep following you, and if you don't put up the guy to put up the stop sign, they just go right into the lava, right? Okay, cool. So that's what a conservative is. Conservatives are a lemming these days. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how I looked at it. But I was like, oh man, this is probably, man, nobody's wrongfully accused. This is stuff people say because they're trying to push an agenda.
They're trying to get over, trying to find a way to weasel out of.
Right. So I was just like, man, I was just like, yeah, whatever. But then I watched the show and I was like, wow, it was like I kind of got moved. And then she was just like, well, yeah, man, he's in Atlanta too. And I was like, oh, he is?
Oh, shit.
And he was like, yeah. So I remember I might have just randomly hit him up on Twitter like, yo, man, saw the show, man. I appreciate that. We started following each other. And one day, random, he started, like, looking at what I was talking about. And he was like, man, I really like what you're talking. He was like, man, we got to meet up, man. We live in the same city. We got to meet up. And I was like,
I don't know, man. You were in jail.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know,
you already pulled a gun on him in the show.
You know what I mean? This guy done been in jail. I was like, man. I was concerned. I was like, man. I was like, man, I'm concerned. I was like, man.
Saul's over there like, I ain't never been to jail. I take care of my kids.
So you know what I mean? So I was like, I was like, cool, man. I'll meet with the dude or whatnot. I'll be cautious and whatnot. So I remember we met on the east side. And I remember he pulled up or whatnot. And then he got in the car and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be okay. You know what I mean? Because you don't, it's no knock to him, right? It's no knock to my guy, but it's like you don't really know people till you see them, right?
I know.
You don't know, like, it's like I'm like 6 foot, like almost like 250 or something like that. When he hopped out the car, I was like, oh, I should be okay as long as he don't got no gun on him. But I was like, but he seemed genuine, you know what I mean? He seemed genuine. And man, we sat at the bar, chilled, man. They had some wings and fish, man, and drank beers. Yeah. It's like, as they say, the rest is history.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We decided to do the podcast because Naomi started law school. right? And I was like, I still wanted to continue doing it, but I wasn't doing it at the consistent pace that I wanted to. So I was just like,
it's hard to do it by yourself too.
Correct. Yeah.
It is. You ain't motivated.
Yeah. And I was like, you know, well, okay, cool. If you kind of want to chill out on the channel a little bit because you want to focus on law school, I get it. So then the pandemic happens, and now she's homeschooling, doing all this other stuff. She got too busy.
Yeah, she's super busy. Yeah.
So I just talked to Corey, and I was like, he was like, man, you know, shoot, we did a show. We did like our first shows together on the 50 Shades of Red channel. Like, that's funny that's the only show that's up, and it was like you know how they got to do it. 2 independents destroy so and so, right? So that was like our first show, and then he was like, yo, I enjoy doing that. But I told him, I said, yeah, but if we do, I said, I enjoyed it too, but I don't want to do politics like 24/7. I can't do it. And he was like, well, let's not do politics. Let's do it. And, you know, we just kind of just threw some ideas off each other. And I was like, what do you want to call it? And then we ended up coming up with the name, got the logo, and just started doing it. Yeah. So that's
I love what y'all do too.
But I got a backdrop though, real quick.
Go ahead, man.
Because I have been on the 50 Shades of Red 3 times. I made 3 appearances on there. The one where me and him destroyed Democrats and Republicans. When it was interviewed by Naomi, but they set me up. They had me debate the guy.
Wait. She don't include me in that because I didn't have anything to do with that. But continue.
Okay, well that's a disclaimer, okay? Because I looked up, I was on the screen. They had me debating a guy that looked like Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks, right?
No, he didn't, man. He looked like no, he didn't. He looks like the black dude from In the Heat of the Night. That's who he looks like.
He was a mix of both of them, right? He was trying to run be the governor of New York.
Yeah.
But he was running as a Republican, and next, they invited me on the show. We going back and forth. I look up, it's only me and the guy on the show. They didn't mute it themselves.
She took us off. She took me off camera.
Wow.
And from that's how me and his brotherhood, really sparked. Like, say, even what was that? Some little chicken shack when we had the little meal. I watched this guy eat 4 plates.
No, it was 2. It was 2, man. Hold on.
I'm going with Corey.
Wait, man. Wings came 6 at a time, man. Wings came 6 at a time, man. Like I said, man, I ain't no little dude, man. 6 wings was not gonna hold me.
I don't care how little you is. This guy ate 5 plates, man. Like,
see, look, he changed it already. He just see it going up now. It was 6. It was really 6 then. How about that?
6.
Yeah, go ahead.
From there, we meshed good. I was living in Decatur at the time, and then right after that, I think I moved to the city of Atlanta. Then he came over. We hung out again, and the rest been history. Like, I'd have been in his house multiple times. He'd have been to mine. Our wives know each other. Matter of fact, I was with him when you may remember, Chad, when we did the inauguration of the Purple Pill Politic.
Yep.
With Sonny and all them. That was my anniversary.
Yeah.
Me and my wife.
Yeah.
So like we didn't got that close, and
and I didn't even find out about that until it was damn near over. And I was like, God, man, get the fuck out of here. Go be with your wife.
It was like, that was we split. We was at an Airbnb at that time. You know what I mean? So it was different. Yeah.
So tell me, because I remember. All right, so isn't this like? Correct me if I'm wrong, but like this is like high school sweetheart or something, and then after you spent 17 years, in prison. And then y'all like found each other again, and then y'all decided like, and y'all even like waited until y'all got married and everything, and then y'all tied the knot, and then the rest is history there too, right?
Well, one part of that, she didn't fuck with me when we was growing up. She did not like. I was not attractive.
She didn't like you.
No, she didn't like me. I've been knowing her since we was 14.
Damn.
Right? She ain't fuck with me at all growing up. But I came home. No, let me take that back. I was in prison, and she ran into my mother. She knew my mother. And she ran into my mother. I think I had like 4 years to go. By this time I had, let me give a backdrop real quick. I had life without parole. I had 3 life without parole sentences. Like, they had threw me under the prison, under the jail.
Right, you're done.
So it took me 8 years to win the appeal. And then 4 years after that to resolve it. And then when we resolved it, at the time I'm indigent, don't have no money, end up taking the best deal that they gave me to where I went and spent another 4 years in prison. So that's how I calculate the 17 years. But when I went back after we resolved, everybody resolved the play, no contest, all that stuff. My wife ran into my mother. somehow they pulled it to the same parking lot together at a Walmart or somewhere.
That's crazy.
And my wife was like, I remember you, Corey's mother. She was like, yeah, I remember you too. You used to come over, you Khalil, and got the phone number. I put the Mac down, and now that's history. You know, when you got
Right.
on a prison call, like, hold on, hey, what's going on? Put that shit down thick, and she was with it.
You're like one of those rappers dropping an album from jail on the phone.
I put that shit down thick. Like, she couldn't resist it.
That's some Mackin skills right there. Fucking picking up a girl in prison.
But I'll say this, right? It's like the thing about it though, it's like when you be in prison, right? You don't have no time for nothing but other than read. So I was the smartest guy that she ever met. Right? Because I'm sitting in prison reading books. So when I'm talking with her, I ain't doing no but regurgitating all the shit that I had read. Oh, he's smart. You know, we on y'all show. This nigga smart. You know what I'm saying? I like him. So and she fell for it. Now we've been together. And you're right, we did wait when I got out.
Well, he just assumed you can drop the N-bomb on my show.
Right.
That's right.
I'm messing with you.
I know.
You can say whatever you want, man.
I love it. I love it. 'Cause I miss our show. I ain't gonna lie. Shit, I miss our shit. I done dropped it so many times on our shit, everything, but you know, hey, but that's how it went, you know. I backed her up over prison calls and got out. We didn't have sex till we got married, and we've been together for 8 years now. So you know,
that's beautiful.
Got a beautiful little 6-year-old daughter together, and I'm happy.
Hey, that's the shit that matters. Outside of all the political bullshit that we talk about and all this stuff, one of the things that we like to focus on is that family and that stuff, that's the important stuff. Building yourself, that whole idea of Hotep and build. It's one of the things I love about the Hoteps is that idea of bringing communities together. And in hearing that story and seeing, frankly, the love between you guys, that's the shit that matters in life. And that is what builds community. And that's why people like us are going to continue to succeed, is because we can find each other with love.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie though. Shit, I wanted to smash day one. Shit, it was her. It wasn't me. It was her.
So about that building, right.
But you waited, man. You waited.
You still waited.
It was a lot of porn in between.
Oh God.
And lotion. Don't forget the detergent.
You're making this beautiful fairy tale a lot more dirty than it was.
In our show, I'm the crazy one, but you're gonna get all that in between. So my bag.
No, it's all good. So I want to talk about what Marcos was talking about, like building community and all that kind of stuff. So what I find a very interesting and very concerning on the one hand, but also like I'm optimistic because of what y'all talked about, what you're building. Juxtaposition. The juxtaposition is you guys met through Twitter after Saul saw you on a YouTube show. So where do we go? How does the 2022-2023 version of the Brown Paper Bag podcast type of show come about when people are banned from Twitter for saying things that maybe you guys have been saying, or they're banned from YouTube, like your show has already been banned? Like there might not be the opportunity for someone to find, G. Frage talking about his experience because that show that would have had him on got banned. And so, So how do we, as beautiful as that is, the future looks a lot bleaker for that type of stuff happening because those avenues are being cut off, not by us. We're trying to connect with people. We're trying to connect with each other. We're trying to build a loving, charitable community. And for whatever reason, the powers that be are cutting us off at the knees. So I guess you guys seem to be like offering a really nice solution that I'm excited about. Where I was going to go with that before you talked about what you have planned was like, how the hell do we do this, in 5 years or whatever, or 3 years or 2 years, even shit, the way this stuff is accelerating, who knows? But that's something to think about, like that your new platform, and then the stuff that I'm working on with Jonesy and Rita and Ant with the Jean Core project is something with that too, where building something outside of the traditional social media stuff that can be a place where those connections can happen is a beautiful thing. But what do y'all think about that with the censorship? Marcus, you were going to tie the censorship together.
Right. What I want to do is we have been an hour.
Okay.
So I want to tease that for show number 2.
Okay.
I want those answers.
Before we switch to show number 2, we were supposed to do this midpoint, but please like, subscribe, and hit that bell because
yeah, for sure,
to see our beautiful faces.
And share. 2 shares to speed the spread. That's what I'm going to keep saying it. You know, it's I'm not going to say what the other thing is that you're supposed to say. Yeah, I'm going to trademark 2 shares to speed the spread. Speed the spread of the show.
Yeah, that is nice though. That is nice.
So
yeah,
for sure. So definitely do all of that. Check us out on all of our platforms, and check these guys out on Twitter. If you don't catch the second show, and I strongly suggest you check the second show, which will come out sometime probably on Sunday. But for now, definitely check out them on Twitter. The links will be below, and check out what they're doing. And then be prepared for the Anarchy After Hour, where we dive into those questions that Chad just brought up.
Absolutely.
Stay free.